Welcome back to Odyssey of the Dragonlords. Solano Deo, do you want to tell us what happened?
Yeah.
Are you?
There we go.
Yes,
Oh, sorry.
he
I
would
had to find. I had to find a post and take a sip of my 48-hour cold brew, which is wiring me up. Our heroes drink of the sacred prophetic waters of Versi, experiencing visions that required them to make difficult choices. We learned that Versi is a Kanti's aunt. When there is a necropolis we must adventure to for Solano Deo, while Saren must seek out the family heirloom. They then made their way to Estoria, where Versi has recommended that they go. On their way, they evaded a terrible and rather windy storm by seeking refuge. They met the Lelati family, who offers them shelter from this storm. Shortly after, they are met by Pavlos and his donkey Apollo. We purchase Apollo from Pavlos, swearing an oath not to sacrifice him to any deity. And now, after a long rest, we return as they are ready to head to Estoria and the wine festival, hoping to meet King Pythor.
Excellent. So, you were all coming into the city. Oops, your tokens are all broken, but I will fix them. You're coming into the city, and as you entered the city, you drew the attention of some guardsmen, some military-looking folks, and they encouraged you to follow them to speak to the king, to speak to Pythor. And you're walking through the city. You see, as the more that you walk through the town, you pass the little marketplace, but there are more and more people that is kind of following you behind the procession of military personnel. And by the time that you start to make your way around towards the king's palace, which is looming up on this hill, you have quite, pretty much probably at least half the city kind of knowing that the heroes of the Heartlands are in town. Anybody doing anything while they're walking through town?
Just looking around, trying to figure out the feeling of the town, I guess.
The feeling
Yeah,
of the
just-
town.
Just kind of, I mean, I'm not used to people following me around, and when I am used to people following me around, it's never a good thing. So,
Yeah, well, I mean, you still have the guardsmen, so it's not like they're hee-hawing at you. But from what you could tell of the people, they don't look too well. A lot of them look thin. They look maybe on the poorer side for most of them, although there are some nobles in this city as well. But for most of the people that are out on the street, they look like they've had some better days. Some of them seem maybe a little bit on edge. But they are all very excited to see you walk through the streets. Kira, while she's walking, and she's kind of walking in the back and just kind of like letting you guys have your glory. And she's like reaching into her bag. She's like, "Oh my gosh, guys, I totally forgot your reward. Nobody asked me about it. You guys don't care about golden arrows?"
You did tell us. It's like, what's the point of golden arrows in the first place?
yeah, we can hang them up, or
Well, you know, they're nice, they're pretty, they're really well made. So she makes sure that you all have your golden arrows.
Are they functional?
I
Or
mean, you
can't
could,
shoot them.
if you wanted to shoot a golden arrow, you could. I don't know why you would do that. It's gold. You want to throw away gold? It's up to you.
Cool.
It'd be a bargaining chip for later, so I'd recommend we hold on to them.
oh yeah, it's also gold.
Yeah.
So,
Or drachme, yeah. Well, gold is, I guess, a gem. Drachme is a currency. Anyway, she's looking at you, Zark, and she's saying, "So, going to meet your father, huh? How do you feel?"
yeah, I'm not so sure about this. I have a feeling he's not going to care too much. So I don't
More,
I don't
more,
know that I'm even gonna bring it up.
more curious what he wants, basically.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I just wanted to make sure that you didn't get your hopes up.
Yeah,
Get at him, champ.
trust me. I've heard the stories of Pythor, and I know that he's not gonna care about me until I've proven my worth.
Well, I think you're worthy, Zark. And she, like, tugs on your horn.
Oh my.
That,
So we're not killing her.
well, the plan was to find a waterfall.
I'm
and push
averting
her.
my eyes.
No, the plan was to find a waterfall and push her off it. That was the plan.
Okay.
We just need someone discreet.
So not yet is what you're saying. We're not killing her yet.
We'll just ask the king to put her in the dungeon, and then we leave.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
you continue along the path, following the city guard. In the once great Estorian palace that looms high over the city, and you're walking kind of around to the entrance of it, you notice that there are large windows that let in copious amounts of sunlight, which fails to chase away the gloom that has settled in the palace. As you walk the large halls, you notice evidence of the court's past glory in the form of precious artifacts dating back to the First War. There's extravagant tapestries that show tales of Estoria's history, King Pythor's grand adventures, but you don't really see any recent tapestries or recent events. They all seem to be pretty ancient. And we'll bring you to the palace. So you walk in to the palace, into the main throne room, and you hear some commotion going on. There's soldiers and nobles kind of standing about, but they all look a little bit either tired or just kind of nervous, but they straighten up when they see you with your entourage. And the commotion that you hear is some clattering, some you hear like what sounds like metal on stone, and as you get closer you can start to make out the words, and he says, "I'm the god of battle. I could defeat all of you with this single spear." And as you walk around the corner and get sight, you see this huge man, giant biceps, with a spear, and he seems to be fighting off some figures, but he is hammered, and he kind of stumbles and throws his spear at one of the figures, and the procession just kind of walks calmly closer. And as you get closer, you notice that all of the figures are statues. And there are 5 statues that seem to represent the 5 gods. And he is currently attacking the one that says Mitros and saying, "It's your stupid Oath of Peace's fault." And then he like wears himself out with this like move that doesn't even make purchase on the statue, and he stumbles back over to his throne, grabs his wineskin and drinks a bit, and he looks up, and you all are standing there, and he goes, "Oh, hello."
Seem to be having fun.
Ha. Yes. Lots of fun. Hey, you are the Oracle's chosen ones, yeah?
So she says.
Yes. Yes. And I got problems, and I think y'all can fix them. Let me tell you of my woes. And before he does so, Kira just pushes past you all and says, "Whatever your woes may be, drowning yourself in wine will not solve them." She scolds him. "You have a duty to serve your people in these dark times. This wallowing does no one any good." And he just takes it in. He kind of wobbles and hangs his head. "That may be true, but what can be done?" The oath of peace binds my hands. And now the Titans conspire to steal my precious daughter, Anora.
Oh,
But perhaps these heroes can help.
why exactly can't you save her?
I am
What
bound.
do we need a heroes for?
The oath of peace, the God, we can't intervene. We can't stop a sacrifice for Sidon. It'll break the oath.
And this sacrifice.
Sacrificing your daughter to Sidon?
Unless you can save her, that's what
How
I'm.
is that?
Can you?
How is that
say-
allowed in the oath? What kind of oath is this?
Okay. He takes another sip. He's like, Kira, you didn't explain any of this, and she just like folds her arms and just like tapping her foot. Okay. The oath of peace that Almighty Mitros organized or whatever. It says that we can't fight. We can't wage wars and stuff, the gods and the titans and all that. But all the normal sacrificey thing, and he like pours a little sip of wine to Estoria and to Sidon for the rains, and all that still happens. Sacrifices are exempt from the oath of peace. So
Why exactly does it have to be of your blood? Can't it be anyone else's?
that's what I said. I don't think I should be leader of Estoria. I'll tell you that much. Politics is not my game, but I'll tell you. There's a faction, the Order of Sidon. They have a growing group, a growing popularity, and I mean, I would love to. I'm the god of battle, and if I could just battle them, that'd be great. But I can't, and they're trying to get the rains back. The farmland's dry, and they have come up with this sacrifice of the princess in order to appease Sidon. It's just to torture me, and that's why I drink, because I don't know what else to do.
Where exactly is your daughter to be sacrificed?
The Rock of Estor. When you come in from town, there's a river, and there's a rock on the river. It sounds more glorious than it is. It's a frickin' rock in the river.
That little spat on the ground.
There's a pole on it, and they chain sacrificial goats, and hey, you've got a donkey. Are you planning on...
Out of the question, you drunkard.
No.
Whoa.
Pythor.
Everyone loves the donkey.
You are my father, Pythor, and you're telling me that my sister is to be sacrificed? Yes, I know you don't know me as your son because you've got tons of them out there, you freaking hole.
I recognize you now. You've got my spunk. I like it.
You're telling me that my sister is to be sacrificed?
So
Yeah.
So it's like I just quit.
exactly what is the process for this sacrifice?
Well,
I understand you
Happen.
tie him
There
to
is
a
no
rock.
process. It does not need to happen.
chain them.
I understand. I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, thanks. That's
We
great.
need a plan. So like they tie her to the rock, right?
They chain her to a
And-
rock, and it happens at
Okay, they chain her-
sunset,
oh,
and then
they cut her throat. Bunch of
no,
people come in,
No, she
chop her head
drowned.
off.
no,
She drowns. She drowned.
I
A
don't.
monster comes and eats her.
Well, we don't really know. The thing is, there's like some magical element that shrouds the whole thing in darkness, and people kind of liked it that way, and so it's like the mysterious rock of Estor in Estoria, and people, you know, it's...
So what, the fog goes away and she's gone, or she's dead, or...
I mean, I hope she doesn't die, but yes, anyone who's been chained to the rock of Estor has, you know, you go back and they're gone, and there's little pieces of rock everywhere, and that's about it.
Okay.
Would we be able to check
Well, I
the
wanted to
location?
know.
So
I'm sorry, go ahead,
Gonna have to investigate this.
Ashaya?
Would we be able to check out the location at all? Or is that against a law of some sort?
Oh no, it's just in the river. You just go by the entrance, where the south entrance, I'm assuming that's for where you came from, and you look out there and there's a rock in the river. You could check it out. I wouldn't go there at night, but unless, of course, you were to be sacrificed.
Where is your daughter being held right now?
She is being held in the palace dungeons. It's actually nicer than it sounds.
for a week.
Like, your palace dungeon?
It's more her bedroom. Let's not be dramatic. But yes, she's being held in a safe location with guards of my own and guards from the Order of Sidon to ensure no funny business. And they...
How many of your guards can we kill without you getting mad?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What?
Why is it his guards? Why is it...
He's guarding her,
why are
right?
you... Are you trying to sacrifice my sister?
I don't know. Anora is my favorite, bestest child. I love her very much. I do not want to sacrifice her, but here's the thing. If we don't, then not only will the drought continue, but there's a little bit of like a tribal war thing happening, and if we don't sacrifice her to Sidon, the centaurs are gonna wreak havoc all over Estoria.
Okay, what are the requirements for the sacrifice? Like what?
Ugh, and he like grabs his head. You know,
I mean, like, who does it have to be? Does it have to be your child?
I would hope not. I think there's gotta be a way. No, I don't think it has to be a princess.
Maybe
Tell you
there's
what.
Does it have to be female?
What?
Okay, can we...
Sacrificing her to Sidon just to help, like, push you further away from your treaty? Like,
No.
Sidon is trying to...
No, it's...
Why are you...
No, the truce would break either way, but why does he want his daughter?
I don't want my daughter sacrificed, guys.
Did Sidon... So the...
But
I
it's gonna
wanna know
empower
what the-
Sidon even
Okay,
more.
okay. You're gonna have to talk to Gaius. Gaius is the commander of the Order of Sidon. He's the one that's been trying to work with the centaurs and has essentially come... I think he's doing it to punish me. No, but I'm losing my footing in this forsaken... I was gonna say God-forsaken, but there's a couple of us here.
So, when exactly is this sacrifice supposed to be taken?
The
Taking
next
place?
full moon. Can you believe? Do you know what the next full moon is?
A few weeks.
Probably.
I would assume you're probably gonna tell me at this point.
Yeah, we don't know
It
what the
is the Vanquish. The Order of Sidon chose the full moon of the Vanquish. It's the main day dedicated solely to the Twin Titans. And, you know, it originally was this whole thing about betraying people close to you. And then it turned into, like, just kind of silly thing where rituals and people would be fake punished. But this year, the 500th year of the current era, aka the end of the Oath of Peace, they chose to press this matter and make it they're gonna celebrate the death of Anora. Please, I beg of you, heroes of the Heartlands,
I just I want to know what are the qualifications of someone to be sacrificed. If it doesn't have to be her, if it doesn't have to be a princess, who fits the description?
Yeah,
I'm not
of
gonna
the
sacrifice somebody
quality
else.
sacrifice.
It's just
I
like
no, just follow me here. I've
Yeah.
got to
And I'm
process.
not
how-
sacrificing Pablo either.
No, not Pablo. That's
stupid.
a
Apollo.
donkey can stand in for Apollo. I'm not
Apollo. Sorry.
Apollo. A donkey can stand in for the princess, is what you're saying. So it could be anybody.
No, I don't think a donkey's gonna do it. Listen. Usually, they want to have a. It's like festivals and stuff. You can't just light one firecracker. People will not be happy. So, I'll tell you what. You're gonna have to talk to Gaius, Commander Gaius of the Order of Sidon. He's the one that has the say, and I, God Pythor, King of Estoria, will give you 50 oxen. 50 oxen if you can find a way to get livestock in there instead of my daughter.
That's just what we need is more pets.
Pythor,
No.
I have one request, and that is for you to stop being such a fucking drunk. And I will do my best to bring my sister back home alive.
Okay. I'm gonna do that.
It's like
Okay. Well, to do that, I'm actually gonna leave Kira here to watch over you
yes, I fully agree with this.
and to make sure that she is taking every drink out of your hand.
Kira's just like, I don't want to do that. What are you doing?
Kira, do you want us to save the daughter or not?
For 10 days, I mean, we could.
10 days. All you gotta do is swat beer out of his hand.
Aren't you immortal?
We're gonna hang out here for 10 days. Don't you think there's other things we could do?
No, just you.
I mean, the rock
Like,
does
for
sound
you,
interesting.
I can do other things, yes, but for you,
Well,
no. I'd like you to.
You
just
want me to
swat
stay
beer
here
out
for
of his
10 days. Guys, there are so much more to do. The Oath of Peace is ending, and Versi had all those things for you guys to do, and you want to just you're gonna, oh, fine. I will stay with here. Pythor, and she like grabs the wine that he just started chugging. And he's like, calm down, little sister, calm down.
Do it.
Well, we
Yep.
already knew it. She's not there.
She's like, he's drunk. Don't listen to him. Fine, I will slap wine and beer and mead and anything that he grabs. I will make sure he doesn't drink. And he just like hangs his head and he's just like,
He's obviously distraught. Perhaps some of your singing will make him feel better.
Oh no.
I just won this game, so we're good.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Pythor,
yeah.
the rock you mentioned and the order, what are they supposed to be here by?
And he looks at you
She
up
is.
and down and he says, don't worry about those things, sweetheart. Come to Papa Pythor. I'm gonna treat you nice. I've got gems. Do you like jewelry? And he
I think
like
we should
winks
go.
at you.
No,
You
no, not particularly.
have you heard of King Pythor? And he like flexes his muscles as he scratches his head.
I draw my sword thingy.
I don't think you want to do that.
My copus.
He,
One of them.
he laughs. Okay, I'm sorry, little. Are you a siren? What was your question? I was
The
too
order?
distracted. The order. Oh, the order.
Yeah. What day will they be here by?
The Order of Sidon, they are housed here in the palace. Gaius is like a few halls down. They don't come and then no, they live here. This is the politics I'm talking about. Do you ever have to walk down the hall next to someone that wants to kill your daughter? It's terrible. And he goes to reach for the wine, but it's obviously Kira's like shaking it.
Yes, Kira.
I'll talk
is,
to Gaius, or someone else can talk to Gaius. Can we see your daughter? Can we visit her?
I would like to go to Gaius.
I would like to do both things, actually.
Yeah, let's just meet with guys first. Figure out the problem.
Okay.
I mean, we could always split up. You know, it's always a good thing to do. Solana.
So, the
I don't
king,
mind. I don't mind.
I don't get what's funny.
Pythor waves his hand, and a few soldiers take you down the hall, and you take a right, then you take a left, and you enter this other area. Again, this entire palace is just gorgeous. And you enter the area, and you find yourself talking to this man. He's got a blue cloak.
He's already shaking his head.
Yeah, he looks very negative.
He's like, what you want?
So you come into his chambers, and he says, heroes of the Heartlands, how can I help you?
Can you help us asking some of our questions?
Questions?
Questions that...
I am here to serve, even if you are Verces heroes.
Well, why exactly do you need to sacrifice this girl?
I believe the Lord of Storms demands it, not only to appease the war with the centaurs, but to bring back the rain in this region. And my followers agree.
When exactly has the rain stopped flowing? Exactly.
Oh, it's been nearly 2 moons.
2 months. Isn't that a bit extreme?
A big what?
Isn't that extreme choice?
It is extreme, yes. I believe the Lord of Storms is trying to get our attention and let him know that we hear him. We will make a grand sacrifice. Which better sacrifice than King Pythor's daughter Anora?
Why her exactly?
Status, beauty. The Lord of Storms spares no failure to attend to detail. And he looks over at Apollo and he says, a sacrifice of a donkey like that would only insult him, and so we must aim high.
And there's no other substitute they can think of. One that doesn't require a human sacrifice. Or any other sentient creature.
Well, if you have some suggestions, I'm open to hear them.
What if we replace it with something instead? Something in great magnitude of its daughter. Not any living, not a living human or any other sentient creature. Something in great magnitude. Do you have any ideas where we can find that?
You're wanting me to work more? My solution is clear. I said I'm open to suggestions, but I am not open to doing your brain work for you.
So it's like, I just can't think of anything around here that we could switch for, like a demigod, basically.
What if it was me?
No.
If it was me.
No, no more
I will
demigods.
take her place.
No. That would seem like a...
Do we have
You guys understand what this means, and I look at you like big
I understand.
eyes.
I understand what it means.
Yes, but it's just...
What if it was me? And we can figure this out
I'm down with that.
another way.
Man, we're just leaping from one band to another.
This
We are, but I'm not.
this
helpless.
man, this
Did you
hunk of
just
beef
call me
over
a man?
here. No,
Oh,
I called you a hunk of beef. Is
Wait,
also a child. Look, I have no charisma. Okay, I'm doing the best I can. Is the brother of what's her name?
Anora.
Nora is the princess's brother. Him. I am sure that he is much more substantial than she is.
And he looks at you and he says, well, we wouldn't want to upset the Lord of Storms. In that case, how about all of Vercy's heroes chained to the rock together?
no.
Well, it will be Anora then.
I will take her place.
You will not. The Order of Sidon will allow the 5 of you to be chained to the rock of Estor together, or Anora. You have 10 days. Now leave my chambers.
Fine. Yeah. Okay.
And his soldiers kind of come between you guys and him and escort you out.
Do we know where the dive's being held?
In
In her
dungeon.
room, in the dungeon, yeah. May I please speak with the princess?
Yeah, sure.
Would you, anyone like to join me? Since I have.
I will join you because I've never met my
Is your
one
sister?
of my sisters.
Okay.
What is guaranteed one of my sisters.
Okay.
Your many sisters.
So Gaius insists that he escorts you. He doesn't want to trust such an important task with his men. He
Okay.
leads you down this twirling staircase, and it still stays nice down there. You think dungeons are dark, but no, they've got different reflectors and candles and such that keep the place pretty well lit. And you hear he walks up to a wooden door that has several locks on it, and he knocks, and she says, "What?" He says, "It's Commander Gaius. You have some visitors." And a young girl comes to the door, and she
I'd like to speak first, real quick. Just so you know.
she is very pretty with jewels, and she says, "Yeah."
And I look at her and I say, I'm sure this is
Oh,
not
wow.
what you expected, but I am a brother of yours, and I'm here swearing my oath to our father and you that I will do as much as I can to protect you. I just want to introduce myself as I put a hoof out.
She hesitantly touches your hoof. She says, "Okay, I'm not really planning on having like a little brother-sister thing going. I mean, there's probably like 100 brothers and sisters I have out there,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna die in like 10 days. So,
Well, we're hoping that you don't, and we're trying to prevent that right now. So I
Great.
know we've got 100 brothers and sisters, but I'm one right now, standing in front of you with a boombox. I mean,
she says, "Cool. Well, I can't leave. I don't know. I mean, is this supposed to
well,
make
I
me
just
feel
wanted to
better?"
introduce you to my friends. I think other people have things to say. I just wanted to let you know you've got family on your side.
You know, I've been having visitors for the last 10 days, mostly, you know, saying how much they liked me and delivering my style to the people of Estoria. This is the first time I've heard someone really say, "We're gonna like save you," but it's hard to believe you. Like, it's pretty hopeless.
Well, I think you should listen to Akanthi.
Before we start, what's your name, princess?
My name is Anora. Princess Anora of Estoria. I don't think I've ever had to say my name is Anora. That sounds really funny. No one's ever asked me my name. Thank you.
Oh, I see a love connection going on.
Nope, Solano's taken. Solano's a one deific figure man-ish. In whatever verse he is.
So, are we in her room?
You are standing at the doorway, and the guards are still kind of between you and her. She kind of poked her head out. You could see that, you know, she is a human being wearing noblewoman's clothes, and the guards are still between you two, so they're not letting you get too closer to enter her chambers, and they're not letting her out.
Okay. So alone time's not going to be an option here.
Gaius is like, nope.
Okay. Just checking.
Oh wait, I have Gaius doing his head shake. He's doing this. He's not even saying anything.
It's a whole lot of no. Oh goodness. All right, well.
Okay,
Should've
back
known
in
that
your
was gonna
room.
happen.
We'll bring you a dinner plate in 2 hours, and actually, I don't know what time it is.
Princess, is there anything?
Oh, lunch plate in a few hours.
Is there anything you want someone who has your best interest at heart to know? Where you go?
I don't want to die. Sucks being a princess.
Well,
Thank you.
hopefully we can help you with one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, if you had any clue as to what happens, that'd be cool, but nobody has figured that out. It's kind of been a nightly ritual for a long time, and nobody knows what happens in the Shroud of Darkness.
So it happens every night?
Mostly for livestock. They don't do human sacrifices every night. I'm special.
Okay. So this is an every night thing. So we have 10 nights to figure this out?
Oh shit, yeah.
I mean, it's going to be all kinds of skinny cows for 10 nights, but yes, on the night of...
That is important information.
The night of the Vanquish.
Got you, princess.
Yeah. You know what's even great? You know, they're going to celebrate my death, so that's fun.
Well, also, I just want to point out that I told you I could help you with one of those things, and either we're gonna save you, and you don't die, or you die and you're no longer a princess. So, I mean, I'm gonna hold true to that.
Nice
If we
to meet you,
save her-
brother.
If we save her, she probably can't come back here afterward. So...
Yeah, because they're gonna keep trying to sacrifice her.
Yeah, so
Well,
she wouldn't
you know
be a
what?
princess anymore.
If we can get Pythor to actually, like,
Man
stay
up.
sober for a little bit, man up, be the father that he should be to Princess Anora, like, we wouldn't have a problem.
I wonder what would happen if we were to start some kind of an insurrection versus...
Right this minute?
No,
I would
we don't have
probably
that. We
wait
don't
on
have the.
that.
We don't have the reputation within Estoria to even think about doing that right now. I mean, we fought these followers of Sidon in Versi's temple. They're bad people. They're terrible people. What we don't know is if this sacrifice is going to restore the flow of water and rainfall to Estoria, because remember, there's a drought and these people are starving. They're suffering. So we not only have to figure out how to solve this dilemma, but we have to figure out what's best for the people. If this is best for the people, if this is going to help restore the faith in these people, I hate to say it, I hate to play devil's advocate, but if it's dictated in the fates, if this is supposed to happen for water to come back, We just might have to accept it and let it happen.
Are we still talking in front of her, or is she gone back in her room at this point?
Yeah.
Not as far as her. Heck no.
I'm assuming that Gaius has pushed you out once
We're
again.
walking away. Okay,
Yeah.
we're walking away.
This is
Okay.
Do we have like a safe space? I need my bubble.
Sure, yeah. There's I mean, you could leave the palace because the halls have lots of echoes
But we have a room, right? Or some rooms?
if you'd like,
He
yeah.
didn't really offer us rooms.
He didn't,
We
but
had an inn. Didn't we
I'd
spend the night
say-
at the inn last
yep.
night?
Oh yeah. Like I'd say, let's go back there. Let's talk.
we didn't stay at Estoria last night. You were in.
No, a few nights ago.
Hmm?
Weren't we here?
No, you just walked into town. You guys stayed at the Lalati house.
Oh, we went straight to the palace? Like all road stinky?
Yeah, we literally left the Lottie
Didn't even, like-
hut, and then we literally just went into Story, and the guard's like, "Hey, you want to come see Pythor?" And we're like,
Oh yeah, I remember now. We're
Yeah.
all road stinky at the
guy.
palace.
Yes, you're all road
I-
stinky.
So should we find a base of operations? I mean, we have 10 days
Yeah.
to figure this out, which is it.
And I
Yeah, we
already
should
have,
rent a
like,
house or
plan.
something. I mean,
Rent a house.
I think
Like-
I might have a plan too.
I think we are on the same
I think
page.
we need to talk about our plan.
But we need secrecy.
Yes.
So we need to find a low-key place.
We need to rent a place. And
I
I really
wonder-
wish I had like a servant that was like wandering around looking for my place right now.
Here's the thing I picked up just from the few interactions we've had in town so far. It seems like we're being called heroes of the Heartland, so it seems like we have some reputation,
Yep.
and it seems like people are starting to notice us. Which, if these followers of Sidon know that we've killed other followers of Sidon, we just might have a target on our heads that we can't see.
Yeah, it's
So I'm very curious to see if they're going to mess with us. So I think I'm going to start praying to the faith.
double-edged sword.
Yeah, but I'm also going to start. Solano Deo is going to take that into consideration when praying for his spells.
And that reminds me, Zark. You know that amulet?
Yep.
I think it is time for me to have that amulet.
Are you sure?
Did you give it to me, or are you still holding it? Yep,
No,
I'm gonna
I'm
wear
still
it.
holding it until you decide what you want to do with it.
I'm gonna put it on.
I will give it to you then.
All right. I'm putting on the amulet.
Side on.
Is this your family?
putting it on.
Wait, what amulet are you talking about?
was
He
just
got an
one I
amulet of
found.
Sidon off of one
Ah,
of the guys.
yes, yes. Okay.
I'm gonna put it on.
Great. I just
Good call.
I just equipped that for you. So you
Thank
are
you very
wearing
much.
an amulet of Sidon.
How does it look?
How does it look?
Obscene, isn't it? It's awful, isn't it?
Like the amulet of Sidon.
It's huge for me.
But our main thing here is like we're looking for some shelter, right?
Yes. Yeah. I can send out Natu, but I don't think
There it
he
is.
understands about rents and stuff.
That's such a cool piece of artwork.
That is actually really cool. Yeah, I like it.
You could always go to an inn, Tavern of the Sword, and rest.
Yep.
Probably
Yeah, see,
should
this
one
would be a good
down.
question to ask Kira, but we don't have her now, which is fine.
I mean, we could,
It's
I-
actually kind of cool that she's not being really annoying right now.
do you think we could send? Is there the possibility of us to send Kira messages?
Wait,
how would you do
are there
so?
guards? Are there guards around? There's
I
guards
mean, you're
around,
still in
right?
the hall, but you're still in the palace.
It's like
if you want,
servants walking back and forth.
sure, yeah, there's people around.
I think that if we
Somebody ask one of these people where
I
we
mean,
can get a room for the night.
We could just go back to Pythor and Kira real quick.
that's true. I think that might be. It's probably the best idea.
Yeah, let's just.
But if he offers us rooms in the palace, do we want to stay in the palace?
You know what? In my opinion, this is not Solano Deo talking. This is me talking. It's always interesting if you place yourself closer to the enemy.
But then
Yeah.
they can watch you too.
Yeah, but it also puts pressure on them. And when you succumb to pressure, you make mistakes. That's when you catch them. Don't know till you try.
I think we go back to Pythor and Kira.
I think it's a double-edged sword. I think we're more likely to find out what we're doing.
Yeah, it just depends on how we wield it. And I think we're going to wield it with consideration and care.
Of course, if we stay here, we'll get a better idea of the layout quicker, too.
Yeah, CNC, care and consideration. Yeah. Coming to Kickstarter soon.
All right.
I said we go back, and she might send us to a place where we can.
Let's go ask your dad to put us up for the week.
Come on, Dad.
I'm not saying put us up, just like a good, discreet place. Like Pythor's gotta have a good, discreet place. Honestly,
people have no idea what.
Realistically,
people
it's
sleep
not
at
that
night.
discreet, but.
He sounds like a sleazy king, so I'm pretty sure he's got a special secret spot where he takes his countesses or whoever.
So yeah, we're gonna approach Pythor again.
Come on, Kira. Just it doesn't matter if you give it to me or not, but it helps if you give it to me. And she just basically has her back to him, and she is frustrated. And she goes, "Oh, hey guys, you didn't get very far, did ya?"
Kira, I commend you for what you have to do right now, and I am really impressed that you are actually taking the situation to heart. And it really helps me as a child of Pythor, because I know that he can be great, and you know he can be great.
Yeah, that was like years ago, like over 20 years ago was the last time I saw him be great.
He's gotta lay off the sauce. Either way, Kira, we have a plan, but we can't discuss it yet. Do you know of any place that we can just lay low for the evening and talk?
Yeah,
or
sure. You could stay here at the palace. I know where all the spare
that
bedrooms
doesn't
are.
seem like a lay low kind of thing.
Okay, you can go to the Dragon's Tooth. Talk to Delphion.
Okay. Are all the Sidon people hanging out there too?
I mean, they're everywhere. This is Thylia. There are people who are from the Order of Sidon.
Stop winking at me.
It's really disturbing.
I'm talking lower key than that.
Lower key than the Dragon's Tooth? What do you want me to give you a ditch somewhere? I mean, if you go off into the woods for half a day's travel, I'm sure you could find a little... You could go back to the Lalatis.
Yeah, alright.
They're like a day away. What do you think? I have an underground bunker or something? You think I'm like some sort of super chick?
I was hoping! Come on!
I'm pretty sure we could probably just settle the Dragon's Tooth place that you mentioned. It is still a tavern, so the noise will probably obscure most of our talking.
Yeah, and we can talk quietly instead of just shouting at the top of our lungs.
And taverns are loud.
Yeah.
People aren't listening to other people. Yeah.
And we can get drunk in the meantime. Perfect.
And we can listen to other people too.
Yep.
So do you guys go to the Dragon's Tooth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Any objection?
Okay.
So, you find yourselves... Let me figure out where the Dragon Tooth's description is. Okay. There's a nondescript building, brick building with carved white stone accents. It's a popular public house, and it is very busy. The sheer amount of activity in and around it, I mean, it seems like everyone in Estoria comes here. There's patrons that regularly drift in and out of varying states of sobriety, and the scent of food and sounds of raucous conversation emanate from the open door and windows. And there is a man who is moving around, delivering drinks. He seems to be kind of running the joint. You look around, he doesn't seem to have much help. Yeah. And he says, "Yeah, have a seat anywhere that's open." And you find some open tables, and you see some glances from folks, but most people are enjoying a good time. It is roughly, what time is it? Yeah, it's like noon.
Okay.
So people are starting early.
Starting the perfect time to start to drink.
So Delphian comes by and he just already has like a tray of drinks and wine, and he just says, "What are you having?" as if you'll just say beer or wine.
Water is fine.
And he kind of looks at you. "Out of towners. Hold on, I'll be back."
I'll
And he
grab some
leaves.
wine off his tray before he goes.
Okay.
Alcohol? Any alcohol?
Yeah, he brought a whole tray of ale and wine, and Ashaya turned him away for water. But you guys grabbed some drinks.
No,
I'm grabbing me some wine.
So you grab a few ales and some wine, and he goes back to look for some water. He says, "I might have to go into the back to find that." So yeah, you guys are in. You hear people chatting. If anyone wants to listen in, you're welcome to do that. You can talk to folks. You can do whatever you want.
What was the name of the tavern again? I'm sorry.
The Dragon's Tooth in
Yeah,
Estoria.
and honestly,
Cool.
I think we should find a quiet place. I know we've got 10 days.
Yeah,
but
when he comes back with the water, I'm gonna ask him if he has rooms to let, and also if there's a bath available around here.
Oh, what? I'm sorry, you cut out.
A water shortage, or maybe I shouldn't say that. Never mind.
I mean, there's a river. So, yeah, he comes back with some water, and the river's low for sure. And he tells you that, yes, he does have some rooms, and quite a few, actually, upstairs. Most people don't really rent them out because many folks haven't really been coming through town. Seems to be maybe just outside farmers that stay for the night and then head back to their farm. But he has rooms
we'll
available.
I think we'll need rooms for a 10-day, right? Unless it happens.
sounds good. How much
Okay.
that can cost?
Yeah, how much is a room in...
Do you have weekly rates?
Uh,
Do I get discounts if I hook up with hookers
yeah, let's...
5 days straight?
So for each of you, at the standard rate is 20 drachme. But he says he's willing to give you a discount for... actually, he might not. Why don't you roll me something? Roll me like, what, persuasion? What? Let me hear your discount speech first.
Me?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. We'll be here for at least 10 days. I was wondering if we couldn't get if you had special rates for that a longer time period, considering that, as you said, not many people are staying in your rooms. It must be worth something to you to know that they'll be occupied for 10 days straight at least. If
Oh,
And that means that we will be drinking here for 10 days straight as well.
as well. Yes. So there's my
Oops.
charisma.
Can I give her a help action?
He says,
Advantage?
you know, the drought's been really weighing on the vineyards, and it's been tough. I would really appreciate if you paid the standard rate. It looks like you are able to afford it, no?
In that case, we'll pay one night
We
at
can
a time.
bunk together.
Okay.
Yes.
That is two drachme per night. So for the
Right.
5 of you, that'll be 10 drachme.
I do not have that much money. All right, I'll give him 2 drachmae.
Okay.
Does anybody want to share rooms?
Yeah, that's what
Ashaya,
I
do
was
you want to bunk up?
thinking. Like we could all share a room. I mean, like the first
Do
night.
you have a double occupancy rate?
It's put a room, and I suppose I could put a cot up there.
All right, Ashaya, would you mind rooming with me?
Sure, that's fine.
I can sleep on the floor. I'm used to that.
So I'll give him 2 drachma for our room.
Solano Deo, did you happen to get that information? Did it send it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's wild.
Cool.
Sounds like an interesting person to talk to, for sure.
Wonder where he could be.
Would I know where the blacksmith is?
See the bald tattooed man right there?
No. There is a place. They call it Vulcan's Hall. If you asked around, someone says, "Oh yes, the old dwarf that claims to be a god. He's up there tinkering as always." And let's see. That's actually pretty much across the street from where you are. They just like point out a window and tell you it's across the street. Oops.
I'm trying to find the money on my character sheet. I've only got 7 drachmae, so.
Yeah, and if you just highlight where the money is, where the number is, you can literally hit minus a number and hit enter, and it'll do the calculation. So that's handy. Okay, so you all get a few rooms. You take away the drachmae that it costs. You sounds like Kanti and Ashaya are bunking up. I don't know what the rest of you are doing.
I paid for our room.
And I haven't heard from Saren in a while. Do you know you're on mute, Saren? He might have said to step out for something.
I would like to request a break in about 10 minutes.
Sure. Okay, so you guys have a room for the night. It's only noon. It's about lunchtime.
Well, if you guys want to chit chat, we could go up to our room. You can go up to
Talk there.
I room and talk in there if you like.
Okay. Oops, Kira's not with you.
Can we take our wine up to the rooms?
Of course, of course. What kind of a barkeep would I be if I didn't allow you to take wine to your room? Okay, so you head up to your room, you close the door, you hear the mumble of patrons down below, but otherwise the room looks pretty modest. It's got one bed, the cot he hasn't brought up yet, and it feels like it's a pretty secure, safe place. You could see out the window at the river Archelon, and it is pretty low water, but the water is moving.
We see the aforementioned stone from here.
Let me see. Nope. If you look down towards it, you see where the river turns, and that's kind of where your vision ends, and you do see
So there's probably not a room in this establishment that we would be able to see it from. Probably not then.
Correct. Nope, there's too many buildings and too many turns in the streets and the river.
All right.
Here's the thing. Pythor offered us oxen to sacrifice. We could put oxen on there to sacrifice and see what happened.
The only
I
problem
could
with
set up
that-
traps to see if catch anything coming for them.
Exactly.
I have good traps.
So we could do this with Pythor's help. Hopefully he's somewhat sober or remembers telling us that. that we could actually set up oxen on this and wait by the side and see what happens.
What were you gonna say, Shah?
I remember just saying, the princess, she was talking about how they were doing cows at night.
Yeah.
If we wanted to, we could always go to the rock at night and see what happened to the cows that are being supposedly sacrificed.
I'm fully down for it. We just can't let
Please.
other people know
We
in
have-
this town that we will be there. So we have to find a way to just sneak out of town and be there.
I think we need to take a good look at the area first and see if there isn't some place nearby where we could surveil it.
Sure. You guys want to take the night off, get drunk, fall asleep, pass out, wake up in the morning, and kind of check out the area in the morning, since it happens at night?
We could wait,
Yeah.
try and do today, if that might be easier.
Well, you said it was like noon, right?
It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
1 o'clock. So we could go do it now.
We just wait outside on the outskirts by the rock.
Just go check the
We
place
could
out.
just take a casual stroll past it.
Yeah. Order some ales to go and wander the streets.
We're tourists, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
You guys think? Darren and Solana Dale.
Saren, Solano? Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay. Kanti said, what do you guys think? They want to go?
Tourists with us?
Yeah, I guess I could do that. That sounds good.
We'll
Just,
go see if we can get somebody to do a cartoon sketch with us, with the rock.
Just know that I will be keeping an eye on what is around us and who is around us during these festivities, because you never know when you're in a big town. There could be big trouble.
Perfect.
I'm gonna have Atu just circling above, keeping an eye the whole time, just in case
That is also a good idea.
someone tries to pickpocket us or something. You know how it is.
Okay. So the layout that you guys have gotten so far, you walk through mostly the living quarters of town. You walked past a sort of a public amphitheater that you could see a little bit from your room that's out along the river. I'll bring you to the map of the city once again and highlight some of these things. So you've seen almost the whole town. The living quarters down in the south here, the public amphitheater right here. This area in the middle is the agora, and there's a merchant I have set up for you. You passed this building on the corner, which has a hammer. It says Vulcan's Hall. You're walking out here right now. I'll kind of use Kira as my placement token to represent where you are. But you did also see this building up here, which looked more like a religious shrine type of building. And then there's gates to the east over here, and then across the river there's a stone bridge with a gate that looks more heavily fortified.
Do we recognize the religious shrine at all?
It is the dragon shrine. Kira pointed it out as you passed it, and she says, that's where they keep the horn of Balmytria.
Okay. Is there any way to get on top of this rock?
For God's sake. God.
Which rock? What are you pointing at?
Yeah, I just might just try to sell my
Right
thing.
down by the rock of Estoria.
For the rock of the store.
Okay, so you guys
Okay.
walk down through town. I'm using Kira once again as the token. And as you come through the marketplace, there is a starved-looking man that approaches you, and he's got this emerald necklace, and he says, "For sale, emerald necklace for 1 gold. Cheap, cheap."
Weird. That doesn't
That's
sound like
too
we should.
cheap.
Yeah, it sounds wrong buying that necklace now.
"What? This is the deal of a century." And he's frail and thin, and he says, "I found this necklace. It's a necklace with 1 charge left. It can cast a fireball, and I got it at the necropolis at Tillamook." And he looks at you, waiting for your reaction.
So,
The necropolis at Tillamook. It's known to
It's
be
where the dead people go.
It's impossible to get in there. But yes, and as
Did
he's
you steal this from a grave?
and
I
yes,
also don't
as
have 1 gold.
as
Yeah, I don't have any money either.
as
Nor do I have any interest in emeralds.
there is another merchant that comes up to you and he says he did steal it. He snuck past Damon, the guardian of Tillamook, and he has been cursed by the gods. He will be unable to eat. He throws up anything that he puts in his mouth. And the only way for him to get rid of the curse is to sell the necklace, and he looks at him, to someone who knows how you got it.
To someone who what? I'm
Who
sorry,
knows
what
how
was
you
that?
got it. He stole it from a
Yeah.
consecrated grave.
Oh.
And the way that the curse works, if you try to fool someone, it simply arrives back in your possession. This fool. Number 1, he was foolish for stealing it, getting past Damon, taking it from a consecrated grave. And number 2, still foolish now, trying to pawn it off on these innocent tourists.
Well, I have a question for you.
I'm suspicious of all of them.
yeah, I'm just
If
gonna
he
go.
sells it, and I know why he's trying to sell it, does that curse transfer to me?
Yes.
Oh, well,
No.
you did.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the stall and just sell my.
I'm
Doing
good.
the New York walk, and I'm just walking by like I don't even see these guys.
And he's like back there saying, "Please, please." And he just starts crying in the street as his frail bones
Yeah.
hit the dirt. Okay.
Yeah.
Opens up his
I'm just-
jacket, and there's like 17 other emerald necklaces in there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sell my pearl.
You're going to sell your pearl?
Yep.
Okay. Do I have a
To him.
price for it?
I don't know. You just gave me the pearl.
Let me see if I can find it. Where did that pearl come from?
The water lady.
Oh, it's 100 drachmae.
Okay.
Jesus, what?
I took
We're
it.
over here starving.
Ah, jeez.
Okay.
We're gonna rent a room
'Kay.
1 night at a time, guys.
You add the drachma to your inventory. I'll get rid of the pearl.
Okay, I did.
All right. So you continue making your way, and anyone can stop at the merchant here. If you are on the City of Estoria screen, you just double click the merchant if anyone wants to buy anything. So Kira your party without Kira, even though Kira's representing you, continues. You head out the south gate. No one's stopping you. And you come across to the river,
I don't
which
want
is
to get that far. Like, I want to try and climb up the back of this shit.
Why are you so
Can you
focused on
tell me
climbing?
what these? Oops! What just happened?
I'm bringing you somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't have a
Oops.
token with it.
I know.
Alright.
Ooh, this is like a
I was
really.
gonna ask you a question.
Yes, this yellow things won't stop. Why are we okay? Why do
So-
you want to climb the rock so badly?
This
I'm
is
on
the.
top of
Ro-
the rock.
I
now,
wanted to
so
get
we
on
can
top
have
of the rock that looks over the rock that they
I
sacrificed.
think that's where he
Yeah.
put
There
us.
you
I think
are.
that's where he put
You
us.
are
Yeah.
looking at the
I
rock.
just didn't get the logic, man. You just say things and things happen.
It's right
Uh,
here.
Hey.
Can I?
Didn't want to get close to that rock.
Wait, this one?
That's the rock
Yeah,
there.
that one.
Sacrifices.
That's the rock.
Yeah.
You see
We
some.
just want to get a
sacrificial
view
rock.
of it.
Yep, you see some planks that lead out there, and you see a pole that is embedded in the rock. That seems to have some
Can
broken
I
chains.
see-
Can you see?
Like, can I see any kind of like blood stains or anything on it, or is it too far away to?
From what you could, why don't you roll me a perception?
That's a good idea.
Okay. You do see some blood stains, but you mostly see what looks like almost like some gravel or some rocks that are strewn about. They also have blood stains on them.
Does the blood stain look fresh?
I mean, some of it's fresh, some of it's old. They have sacrifices every night.
Putting that stuff out every night. Okay, gravel with blood.
You don't see any bones.
No. Can I?
What are you looking for, Solano?
I'm checking to see how fresh the blood is.
Yep.
But it was mentioned that there are sacrifices almost every night, correct?
Yep. So,
Okay.
yep, some of it's really old and some of it's relatively fresh, although the river tends to kind of clean the rock a little bit.
Yeah, understandably.
Can I kind of? Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, can I make a religion check to see if the drought is directly related to Sidon?
God, you're speaking.
Like if it's like a recorded, if there's like recorded anecdotal evidence that this has happened before.
Sure.
Oh, shoot. I'm gonna need to have that break.
Oh, come on.
You know, I've been meaning to request private checks so you guys don't even know what you roll, so
Yeah.
I'll do that in the future.
Yeah.
Oh, but that's really cool. Yeah, I'm really interested in playing that out. That's really neat.
Okay, let's do it. Let's that'll give
can
you
we
a
have
re-roll. So I'm gonna give you, what'd you say, religion? We'll
Yeah,
do-
religion.
And let's make it a blind. Let's see if that works.
Yeah, it's all question marks for me. That's cool.
Okay, great. Well, from what you know, that this region and Sidon himself, you know, there is ample evidence that Sidon has controlled the weather and punished people from just your knowledge of Thylia and of the Titans.
So does anyone know that we climbed up here?
I mean, you just walked out there. I mean, there's some guards that were at the
Yeah,
front gate.
tourists.
They watched you walk towards it.
So
Can we take
Oh yes,
I'm
let's
just gonna-
take a 5 or 10 minute break. Five? 10?
Probably, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe 10.
Okay. Why don't we try to come back at 8:25 or 7:25
Yeah.
if you're Central Time. All right. Great.
Thanks.
See you in 7 to 10 minutes.
Man,
Sounds good.
things just go 0 from 100 real fast, huh?
What do you mean by that?
He's just like, oh, it's like
weather in this area. But it could always be something else, and that's the good part of the mystery.
Yeah.
Is that we have this idea, we have this lore of the world, but there could always be something else.
Yeah.
Which I think is very interesting.
Yeah, that you have like the only one with an outside perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the 5 million outsiders saying, this is all crazy bullshit. This is all crazy. And it's like, because it's like, no one has to be sacrificed. He's from a world where gods are basically distant from each other.
Yeah.
And
but I mean, like, I really appreciated, like, Zark's selflessness. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, I just, like, viewed it as
it's
stupid.
Powerful.
Nah, I just saw it more as arrogant or egotistical in a way. It's like, not exactly like a mature plan, basically.
But, I mean, to a point, if you're learning that there are people that should be in your life that aren't, and you see those people, and you go off that emotion, and you yourself are a representation to some deity manifested in the material world, and you are their sword and shield, you already are this like aspect of like a devotion to like an oath to like this ideal. And I don't know, like I think that acting that selflessness, like acting in that selflessness was a very powerful moment.
Yeah.
And you don't get that too often. Especially with a lot of the paladins I've seen being played, they just run up and smite stuff and like, yeah, I killed you, I quit. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
but
like
you're
playing
like,
into that side. You don't get to see too often.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. But it's just like, from my character's standpoint, it's more mature, more level-headed. He just sees things mostly kind of like not taking for granted of everything. Like how things are mostly normal here, he would look as barbaric in his world.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
It's like, you guys are idiots.
Yeah,
like,
the different worldviews of our characters. I like how the interactions have been playing out. Solato's just weird. He's like the Tommy Chong of the group. He's like, oh, whatever, man.
Yeah. You just gotta inhale those vapors. You gotta inhale.
Well, yeah, I mean, I first read that ability. Speaking of abilities, I first read that ability. I was like, oh, this is just like Portent Dice. And then I realized it's not, because you only get the ability to use those dice for like 10 minutes or something. So you have to carefully plan to use use that channel divinity. And I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's more useful in battle more than anything, basically.
Yeah, and it's only an action to do it.
Yeah,
and it doesn't replace the dice. You have to call it out before the dice is rolled.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing that differentiates it from the Portent Dice. But it's still very. I think it's very unique. I think like a lot of the settings I've read for 5e, because I write adventures for Greyhawk Reborn. Like a lot of the material these people publish, they try so hard to reinvent established classes and archetypes. This setting just adds.
Go get your book.
It just adds.
If you like, or you can read in your room.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, my rogue has a terrifying ability. All he has to do is just deceive an opponent, and everyone can get advantage on that creature.
So you give everyone pack tactics?
Kind of, essentially. It's just like, that way, it's just like, I can use it, don't need anyone, and just get my sneak attack damage, and just...
Wow.
And just like, basically, but it has to pass, but if it doesn't, but it has to pass fail the roll, basically. Which is neat.
That's really cool, though. Yeah, especially with this much melee that we have.
It's more like a trickster more than anything, basically.
Yeah.
So basically, he's more, I don't know, smarter than an average rogue.
Yeah. I mean, I like that. I like that how there's like a motif in all these world mythologies about there's always these uncanny tricksters that are very intelligent, but they're very like sly. And the rogue archetypes in 5th edition not all of them really play off of that. They play off more like the, oh, I'm going to stab you in the back and rip out your spinal cord like Sub-Zero kind of rogue. But the mentally capable ones are oftentimes proved to be more dangerous with their abilities.
Yeah, they don't have magic, but they can easily destroy you if you find them in an alley.
Oh yeah. All I do is just talk and cast spells. That's all Solano does. He's just like, yeah, I'm going to put these smelling salts right up in my nostrils, and my eyes will be white, and I'm going to see things. That's
okay. So you are all just in the early afternoon hours.
There's even birds that fly around.
Okay. Will you go read your book? Okay, sorry.
I love it. So it is roughly 2 p.m. as you wandered through town, stopped at the merchant's office, didn't buy the necklace from the grave robber, and you're checking things out. It's a pretty decent river, although it does look like it has seen a higher tide, so to speak. And yeah, you're just peering over this, looking at this rock with some bloodstains, old and new, some pieces of stone that hang around by the base of it, and a big rod with some broken chains.
Can I send Noctu just kind of up and down the river, kind of looking around the edges to see if there's any kind of like animal?
Any what?
Yeah, like places where some animals might den or anything like that he can spot.
Sure, yeah. What is his name? Ataku? What is it?
Noctu?
Noctu. Can you have Noctu roll for perception?
Yes.
I think Stimpes can do that, right?
Yeah, just use his perception.
Yes.
You can send him out for like a mile or so.
Okay, great. Let me see.
That is an 18.
I'm just gonna assume every bird I see on this is Noctu flying around.
Yeah, I see the one flying around. I'm like, ooh, that's my bird. Oh, I have advantage. Noctu has advantage. I'm gonna roll again if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I mean, you've really rolled pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but yeah, okay. I'll stick with the 18. See, that's him flying around, checking things out.
Let me see if I can find anything to guide me on. I don't think so. Okay, so this is just gonna say.
Like paths down.
Sure.
Hole.
No, there was one piece. I'm just trying to find the exact details. Okay. Let's see.
oh wow, look at that check.
Yeah, we saw it.
So yeah, your bird flies up and around, and the river goes north to south. And I mean, how far can it fly?
Yeah, I'm just going to paste it.
Fly.
Well, it's.
I'll assume with its bird eyes and with that check that it was able to see the river kind of does a turn, and in this turn of the river there is a cave that the river it's not like the river doesn't come out of the cave. It's more like almost like a yeah, just in the bend of the river there's a darker area that the bird saw.
I'm gonna and do we communicate? No, we don't communicate telepathically. He has to come back and give me that information. Yes.
Oh, you?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, he told me. Okay. So when he comes back, I will share that there's a cave up there at the turn in the river. It's north of us, right?
Yep, it's north about a mile or so. So it is north of town. You'd have to go across the fort. You'd have to go into Centaur territory, essentially. So there's a on the north side of town, the stone bridge that you had peeked out through your bedroom window at the Dragon's Tooth. You saw that it is a heavily fortified, heavily guarded entry into Estoria, and it leads to the northern steppes where centaurs are known and are currently threatening Estoria.
Relay the information.
Yes. So yeah, I relay all that information to them.
Okay. Another
Yes.
hour ticks by.
Yes.
It's 3 p.m.
I'm also interested to know there were buildings like over north of this rock.
Sure, let's bring
or
you
in that
back to
area. What are those
Astoria.
buildings?
So yeah, right here, there are buildings. There's kind of distinct sets of buildings, but they are, let me see. I believe it's mostly living quarters. Yep, living quarters. There's 3 distinct groups of buildings that are walled off from the rest of the city. The simple stone houses in the first complex line the central courtyard in neat rows. Structures of the second group are covered with ornate statuettes and carvings, and the third group is a rustic collection of humble brick homes.
And this one is somebody's house.
Yep, that's someone's house. I would say that because they're by the river, it's probably the higher tiered living quarters as opposed to being tucked into the hills.
I mean, my main whole thing right here is just to try and be unnoticed up on this rock and see what happens at night. So,
Do you guys want to hang out there all day?
You guys can just look around and I'll just look for a spot to hide. Like a spot to hide at, you know?
Sure.
I can just easily look around and find one, you know? Probably preferably not. Maybe high vantage, but not easily seen, you know?
Okay. You could probably easily find it along the rocks along the river. I'm just trying to... Go ahead.
I'm sorry, if I'll let Stone find his hiding spot first. But...
Yep. I mean, you could roll stealth, Saren, just to solidify it, but I'm sure you're fine.
I got a question.
Yes. Yeah, you find a decent spot.
It found like, what was it? It was a cave that was 1 mile north.
Yes, a cave is 1 mile north outside the city gates, and you'd have to cross the stone bridge and the northern gate, which is heavily fortified.
By, like, the coast water?
Not the
Like
coast,
by,
the river Archelon.
Would I know of any creature or animal of the sort kind of has like stationed up like own home near there?
You could roll nature. Actually, do it in a private GM roll. You just drop the menu down, and I think it kind of is hard to see unless you're highlighting them, but do a blind GM roll.
Oh, there we go.
For nature?
Yep.
And I'm trying to find... Okay, so yeah, you're aware of several creatures that might dwell in such places. Let me see if I can tell you... Oh yeah, because you're a coastal creature too, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, so some things, I don't know what other things, I wish I could tell you several things that hang out in water caves. Sure, I can make some stuff up. So you know that there are things like kobolds or lizard folk type things that hang out in caves. You're also aware of certain water creatures like maybe water elementals that hang out in caves. Basilisks hang out in caves. What else hangs out in caves? You're aware of several. But you did roll really high on your nature. So you're particularly aware that in a climate such as the one that you're in, arid, temperate, tropical, you're in a currently temperate climate, that a sheltered cave such as the one that the Stimfae saw may have basilisks.
Are they a dragon sometimes?
I'm making connections with gravel at this point in my life.
How much do I know of, like, basilisk?
You know quite a bit, actually. Number one, a siren living on the coast with the water and such. And number two, you rolled really high with your nature. So you are aware that they hang out in sheltered sites like caves. And most of the time, they're encountered underground. They have an ability to use their gaze to turn things to stone.
And then I could probably put 2 and 2 together.
Mm-hmm.
Like seeing like the rubble there, that I assume cow that they were talking about, it probably, the basilisk come out.
Mm-hmm.
And probably stone the cows and then probably eat them. Hence the rubble there.
That's not a bad theory, at least.
If we're gonna stake this place out at night, maybe we should go to sleep.
I do have an idea, though it might be a bit challenging.
Okay.
If the rocks here is true and where they're gonna do the sacrifice, and this location is bound in stone, there's no change. If the basilisks come out for creatures that are being sacrificed, would we be able to kill the basilisk? I don't know how much there would be, how difficult it might be to kill every single one. But if these are the creatures that are possibly have something to do with the sacrifice, if we get rid of them, maybe it'll help in some sort of way.
I think we need to observe first.
Ashaya, do you know if basilisks travel in packs or do they travel alone?
Let's see.
Want to use the same nature check or another one?
You can give me another one. I'm just reading, so that'll take up some time to roll some dice. Because
I like where your head's at. That if this thing comes up, we might be able to kill it. But if it's traveling in packs...
So you've never...
Then we need to observe its behavior before we...
Yeah.
And Siren?
We have several days.
Ashaya, you have never actually encountered a basilisk. You've only heard about them and recall, you know, growing up along the coast, stories about encounters with them. But in your recollection, you don't remember whether people said that, you know, they were in packs or not. It was always kind of, I was attacked by a basilisk.
Okay. So I guess we could just observe it for this night, I guess, then. It happens.
Yeah. Okay. You guys hang out on the rock all night?
I'd like to hang out there. Down low is...
Are we going to go back and sleep before we hang out all night, or are we just going to hang out there all day at sunburn? Huh?
I'm going to stay here until I see a basilisk. You guys would like to go back and sleep?
I have food.
I'll just take a nap on the rock. I'll just find a nice cozy spot, maybe under the rock. I don't want to
I mean,
sunburn.
it looks kind of grassy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like there's any shade.
Pick a nice grassy spot right down here.
But I think we
I'm
take
gonna take a little
turns.
nap. I'm gonna take a nap until the sun goes down.
So, Ashaya, do you recall I have something about you having Devil's Sight?
I don't have that anymore. I had swapped it out.
Oh, okay. So I still have that under your vision. Okay.
What's up, kiddo?
You swapped that out.
But you
Yeah.
Yeah, I have dark vision.
Okay.
So that'll help.
Nope, that's good to know. So there's an option under your token for vision for Devil's Sight. So, okay, you hang out at the rock. Akanti, it sounds like you, if you wanted. I mean, I don't think anyone's taken any damage or anything, but the night goes on. Let me bring you
it
all.
was just 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I figured, you know.
Sure. Yeah. No, you could rest away.
You rested.
Yeah. There's.
I was raised in a military family. I take naps when naps are presented to me. Okay. Okay.
So the night
Right now I'm sleeping.
moves on, and as it gets closer, and I don't have any tokens for this because, of course, out of all my preparation, you all found something that I did not prepare for.
That's our job.
So I don't have a cow, but there's some soldiers that bring out a cow, and it's a pretty skinny looking cow, and they chain it to the pole in the middle of the stone. And they say something along the lines of, this sacrifice is for Sidon, the Lord of Storms. May he bring us rain and good weather. And they walk away, and nothing happens. The cow just kind of moves and seems agitated as the water kind of swirls around it. And the night carries onward, getting darker and darker.
Do they leave at all?
I'm gonna have,
or do they like stay stationed?
They leave. They walk past you, and they say, "Have fun." And
I'm gonna have
Supposed to be
Noctu
like
just
hiding
circle.
up on a rock.
Yeah, they weren't supposed to see us.
They shouldn't be able to see
oh,
us.
not everyone's hiding, or Saren? I thought just Saren was hiding.
I thought
mean,
we were all hiding was the point.
My whole plan was to be up on a rock so people didn't see us, really.
Well, this is the wall. I mean, you're right on the rock that has stairways that lead down. So just because you're on a rock doesn't mean you're hidden.
I thought they were
Yeah, it's just
coming down like this path here.
Oh, okay, my bad. So there's a little bit of let me brighten it up a little bit. So you guys are all trying to be hidden and not seen. In that case, there's this little land cropping over here that I assume you can probably get to. I'll bring you all there if you want to do that. And I definitely know that...
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and stay on top of the rock. I'm just gonna like lay on my belly.
Yeah, no,
Visible?
that's where I want to be.
Okay.
I didn't
Oh, that's
realize
fine.
we're gonna be visible, but I am staying on top of the rock.
So yeah, this path
The rest
right
of them
here,
want to go ahead? That would be awesome.
This-
But
the same path that you took
just
to
wanted
get
to
to this rock leads to the front gate. So people, I mean, there's a little walkway almost. There's steps here. There is a way to get there from this path as well, but this is well traveled. So if you're on this rock right here where you all are, then people will see you. But if Saren, if you're trying to hide, I would imagine you're kind of over this way.
Yep.
Is anybody else trying to hide?
I mean, apparently I'm trying to hide in plain sight.
I guess. I mean, I don't know what that looks like.
I'm a cow laying down on the top of a rock.
but are we hidden from rock down there though? I mean, if something comes up to the rock down there, they're not going to spot us.
Yeah, it's
Right. You're in an overlook. You're in, yeah, you're probably...
I'm not worried about, like, people...
Yeah, the people that
People
can
can
bring
take
it can see you. You know, and some people do come out and watch. nobody else is out checking things out today. It's just a cow. But there, you could almost kind of tell that there are spots where maybe spectators come from time to time. So you're in one of those spectator spots.
It's
Okay.
currently like no one else
I'm gonna have
here,
Noctu
us.
just do some lazy circles.
Right. Once the Order of Sidon leaves and they say have fun, yeah, nobody else is there. Nobody cares about the daily sacrifice of the cow.
So I'm just gonna have Noctu do circles, just going just circling north and going back south and just going all around. I know
Okay.
we're attending to the North Cave, but I don't want to just focus on that entirely.
Sure. Let's see.
Would I still be able to see, or because I don't have my dark vision anymore?
You don't have dark vision either?
Nope.
You don't have any vision?
Yeah, I don't have dark
I have vision.
but-
If there's no
but-
time, what I can see.
I
blind
have
bird.
Noctu.
All right.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say if I can't see anything at all,
Well,
I
he,
use my
Noctu
familiar.
has dark vision, right?
well, here's the thing, guys. Dark vision's not necessarily going to help you because as the night moves on, you see this fog and shroud of darkness kind of cover the rock of Estor, and you hear the agitation of the cow get stronger, and like just kind of this moaning and agonizing sound that pierces your ears and makes you feel sick. And soon, very abruptly, the mooing stops.
So as that's going on, though, can I hear movement for that?
Sure.
Straining my ears. Am I hearing movement through the water? Am I hearing?
I mean, it's a river. There's always going to be some river movement, but you could roll
yeah, I know.
perception
I
with
mean, unusual stuff.
disadvantage.
I actually, the coast is my preferred terrain. So is it with
Oh.
disadvantage?
Well, you're not on the coast. You're on a river.
On the river. Okay. Perception.
I was gonna send
I suck at perception.
my familiar.
Is not two sensing anything. I'm gonna do one for me, and I'm gonna do one for not to. If that's okay.
Okay. So yeah, with the river and things happening.
Two should have been with advantage.
What is that?
Wait, what do you do that
Oh.
there?
Oh
Zarek?
yeah.
Okay, so not two. I got 18. And two got 19, and Zarek is doing magic. I don't know.
It's divine sense. It's whether or not there's
Cool magic.
evil.
Yeah.
Do you pick-
Not evil,
Okay.
but your bird definitely thinks that some of the river like splashing against the rocks could have been maybe a tail flip or some sort of movement underwater, and shortly after it saw that, as it relays this to you afterwards, that it thought it saw something like splash in the water, and then very shortly afterward the moo of the cow got cut short.
And then are we sensing anything moving away from the rock now?
Moving away, you don't hear anything, and the river keeps. The bird notices just right at the edge of the shroud of darkness, the like stirring of the water seems more than what is natural of the river.
Can I do something?
All right.
Sure.
I want to use my Pact of the Chain, and I want to call it a little imp.
Okay.
And it has swim speed because of this invocation.
An imp? I don't even have an imp. I might have
Little
to
devil thing.
manifest an imp. My gosh. Okay, I'm going to give you permissions for an imp. You are a Shia. You are now the owner of a new imp. And I'm putting it next to a Shia's token.
Wait, what did you try to summon?
Oh,
Little imp.
I thought you could only wait.
Yeah, can you post that ability in the chat? Just clicking on it, like
Yeah.
like you're rolling it.
Wait. Are you the Dragonlord?
Nope.
So I can use the chain.
Okay, wait. You're the
And then
Warlock.
I can choose instead of the one of the normal ones. I get following special forms for it.
Okay,
Yep.
you're the Warlock, and you're not the Dragonlord, right?
Yep, he's so it's like a familiar. So you use find familiar essentially.
Yep.
And
then, so it's imp.
it's an imp.
And I use this one. This is the invocation.
Okay.
It'll give me a swim speed of 40 feet.
Okay. What do you want it to do, Ashaya?
I gotta look for it. Oh, it has a stat block for me.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take to?
Yeah, it looks like it takes
It's
about an
instant.
hour.
It's like this
Well, find familiar is an hour.
as a ritual.
Yep.
Bamf? Is there a way to bamf?
Say it again.
Oh, I can make it reappear as an action. And temporarily dismiss.
Well, tell me what you're trying to do. Let's see what happens.
So if it has the swim speed. Oh, it can go invisible. Oh.
Yeah, it's
This
terrifying.
thing can do more than I can.
Yep.
So it'll go invisible,
Okay.
dive into the water.
Okay.
Oh. Look. Okay, and then I'll look through its eyes
Okay.
and see what it sees while it's going through the water.
Sure. So it's going through the water and it's very wavy and chaotic on the surface, but as soon as you dive under, you see swirls of muck and mud. And just over by the rock of Estor, there's that still shroud of darkness that kind of makes it just look like
Amp should be
even.
able to see through it.
Yep, and it's thick and
It's like,
mud is stirred up crazy over
Mhm.
there, and you see two creatures fighting and tearing up a stoned cow. The cow is made of stone, and they are tearing it apart.
can I see what the creatures are?
Yeah, you sure
From this
can.
distance, my imp.
Yep, you see them, and they look like basilisks.
Scaly friend.
They look friendly.
Yup.
So cute.
Oh god.
We don't need any more pets.
Yeah.
While
We could
I'm
totally
my
take it.
eyes.
No more pets. Okay.
I love
I
how
have
While I'm
two-
looking through
Zark
its eyes.
Zark is our stream vision, and his whole scene is red. I just love that.
Yeah.
My wife saw that picture and was like, what the fuck?
So does it look big?
So while I'm
or-
looking through the imp's eyes, I'm deaf and blind, so I can't hear anything, but I'm just relaying what I see to everyone.
Oh,
Deaf and blind.
Yeah, I can't see and I
Shit's
can't hear
going on,
anything. So I'm just
guys.
saying what I hear.
it's like he's wearing a Vive headset, and it's like he's just relaying what he's seeing.
Like really loudly because he can't hear himself.
So
I'll probably-
they are
It's a
medium-sized creatures, but yeah, they are the upper end of a medium-sized creature, and they seem to move very swiftly in the water, and are not friendly looking at all. So your imp sees all
They're
this, and
monstrosities, right?
they are monstrosities.
Okay, just making sure.
Do
Anybody
they
that's
go in
around me,
after
like, I
eating
don't
the cow?
know what to do about this.
As soon as the
I have okay.
go ahead, they're still feeding right now, but they're gonna move away shortly.
I don't think we should go after them now. I think we should prep for tomorrow night and get them tomorrow.
Okay, So shortly after
I
you
mean-
witness this feeding frenzy, or your imp does, they make their way back north along the river Archelon and disappear in the river in the distance.
Can I have my
Okay.
imp follow them?
How far can your imp fall?
Yeah,
Well,
what's
I can't see past 100, but he can keep going on his own.
forever? But how long is his, like, let me see, your find familiar is
He won't
100
be able
feet
to
of you.
communicate with them anymore.
Yeah.
He
Yep.
won't be able
I
to
can't-
communicate with them anymore, but he can still act
on his own.
independently.
Yeah, you could just tell them to follow them and just
He'll be
come
invisible.
find him.
Also
in
be
the
able to
town,
swim
basically.
40 feet. So I don't know how fast they're going, but he might be able to catch up.
He could sprint 40 feet? Is
He
that
can move 40 feet with the swim speed.
which is 80 feet dashing. Okay.
80 feet dash.
Yep, so he can keep up with them pretty well. But after 100 feet, you lose all communication.
Then I'll let him know a message to find out where they go, and then come back. And that's it.
I have a feeling we know where they go.
Mm-hmm.
Based
Oh,
on
what a cool guy. I'm
Conte.
Carl the imp.
He's like, oh shit, I have an imp.
And
He's a cool
now
imp.
the imp. So we have confirmed exactly what we need to know. And pretty much where they're at.
So our plan is just to kill the basilisk in there, and it'll prevent the thing. Because if these sacrifices don't get killed, the cultists might do something else, you know?
Yeah, that's the problem, is why... Now you got all red.
So
What is really controlling the weather? Because if it's just basilisks, and I say that with a light tone, but it's basilisks that are killing these cows, like how are they connected? And to who?
could be. Kind of sounds like something Sidon would do, just to screw with the populace, you know?
Yeah, it could be.
So far, all I could see was 2 that had come for the
Yeah.
cow.
I guess we just go back towards our house and just rest for the day. Wake up in the morning, then we try to find that cave, right?
I think we should check out the cave and see, like, maybe it can be collapsed or something, but I don't think we should try to attack the basilisk in its cave.
Well, it's just like
Because we can trap the rock. We know it comes to the rock.
yeah, but the only way to get rid of it is killing it is the more efficient way, because it could just dig its way out somewhere else.
Well, the plan is to kill it. But first we trap them, that we can shoot them while they're holding still.
We also don't know. We spent one night looking at this rock and watching 2 basilisks.
We don't know.
How many basilisks there are in there? They could have baby basilisks. There could be a whole family of
They
basilisks
could
in
be
there.
the baby basilisks.
They could be the baby basilisks.
Does
Yeah.
my imp find anything in the cave?
Not until we get information from the imp, or where we relay where the imp found the things going to, basically, because that was the last message you gave it.
Yeah.
So it's
Wait
just
for
like, well,
Lucas to return.
Yep. Wow, that's what you called it. That's what you called it.
I named him Lucas the imp.
Well, at least it's better than Steve the rug.
Carl?
What?
Carl the carpet.
Carl?
What?
No! Carl
F.
is a part of our family.
Because Solano has his,
Hmm.
and I have my imp. I shall
I
name
like-
him Lucas.
I like Lucas the Imp. I don't appreciate the slander that Carl is receiving when he can't defend himself.
Seriously.
He's not.
He's not here.
He's
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your family, and dishonor on your cow, my friend.
hmm
I'm glad you didn't say dishonor your donkey.
Nope. Donkey!
Okay. So I guess we just rest now.
Yeah, sounds plausible.
Okay.
Yep.
So you head back to the Dragon's Tooth to rest?
Yep.
All right. You sleep for the night. Some of you share rooms. Some of you on a cot. Zark, where did you sleep?
I'll get my own room.
Okay. You wake in the morning and downstairs at the Dragon's Tooth it is quieter, although a few patrons seem to come in for breakfast. The older crowd. If anyone's awake in the morning, you smell the typical smell of breakfast. Mostly eggs. They don't have fancy catered breakfast. There are scattered clouds, but mostly clear skies that greet you at your window. It is the 7th of Sidion. What do y'all want to do?
Go find my cave.
Did I have Lucas come back to me?
I think he did eventually.
Sure, yeah, he came back later in the night as you were, it took from the time you walking to the Dragon's Tooth and settling in, and you felt a little, or you heard a little tap on the door, or the window. Where are you sleeping? Oh yeah, you're sharing with the Conti.
Yeah, she's sharing with me.
And you let your imp in, and it basically relayed information. I think they can relay information, right?
They can communicate telepathically as long as they're within 100 feet.
Okay, so you knew it was coming into the door. So, yeah. Let's see. I still have a hard time. Let's see. You can see through your familiar's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn. Oh, that's if you did it in battle, huh? I'm just surprised you can just have it that long, huh?
It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good. And
Okay.
imps are cool because they have thumbs.
They have what?
Ew.
No, it doesn't
They,
have thumbs.
they have thumbs.
Not
They can
imps.
open doors.
Amazing.
So yeah, your imp
Imps are the-
You can do a lot of cool things.
relays that it followed the basilisks up the river Archelon, and about a mile up there's a bend in the river with a small cave that they retreated into, and once it saw them go into the cave, per your orders, it turned around and came back.
Sounds good. I will dismiss him for now and send him to the
Can you-
pocket dimension.
Before you dismiss him, can you like ask him if he saw any other basilisks in there?
Well, I told him
I
to
know,
go to the
just
front of the cave, so he never
Sure.
went
He
in.
never cave.
Doesn't mean that he didn't see any others swimming around.
It's up to you, DM, if you saw anything.
Do you still?
I just told him to go to the front of the cave.
Yeah, let me get your imp on the board there if you want to roll imp perception and make it a private GM roll.
Sure.
Impception.
In
Impception.
Episode name, Impception.
Yeah.
One vote for that, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna name the episode on 10 seconds of banter.
He can see in the dark.
I guess that's what has been happening.
I mean,
Perception.
Yeah, so it followed in, and as soon as the basilisk kind of went into the darkness of the cave, it did not see anything else, and it turned around, so it does not have any more information than that.
I would like to know how much Akanthi knows about basilisks. I feel like there's probably some basilisks on her little island's
Sure.
town where she lives.
Yeah.
And hunts things for fun.
What she got? Nature for
So-
me? Does that sound right?
I have too many notebooks. Sorry.
Did you happen?
Really? Really?
I was gonna say, did
It's
you
a
hit?
basilisk.
You didn't do that as a private GM roll. Darn. Because you know
Are
that
they-
they are water dwelling and that they have a gaze of stone, and that's about it.
They have
I
teeth.
know pretty much what I was told.
It's been a long day, and the
Let's try
Conti,
it.
she just woke up. She doesn't really.
I
She,
feel a little hungover.
yeah, maybe she had some. The the Lady of Dreams maybe visited you last night, and you feel a little disoriented to recall any helpful information
Sure.
about basilisks this morning.
Oh, wow, that's embarrassing considering the nature of my work.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to have some stuff around here where we can just help you.
Is there a
that
library?
hangover.
Yeah.
There is not a library in Estoria. The
That's
closest
okay.
thing
Conti
to
probably doesn't-
the closest thing to historical information would be the Dragon Shrine on the east end of town by the King's Palace.
Can we go find the cave?
Anybody who is smart that knows a lot about basilisks, we could ask questions of.
I mean, what's that?
I'm gonna prepare locate object and try to cast it to find where the basilisk is.
Wyatt?
I think we know where it is.
I mean, we know where the cave is for sure, right? Do we?
We do.
Yeah, we
I
know
am
exactly where the
Italian.
cave is.
I don't know.
I just
We know where there's
I'm-
a cave, and it could contain basilisks.
I want to
seen
know
by the-
exactly
Yeah.
how basilisks turn people to stone and what to do about it if it happens. That's all I want, and I want to know if there is an expert in this town that could tell me.
Yeah, your best bet. You know who would know that information?
Oh, don't say it.
Freaking Kira. I know Kira. Kira's gonna know that information.
I'm just an expert in like everything. Just you gotta believe this. I may be a hot mess on the outside, but I'm a wealth of knowledge on the inside. This
You like
All right,
express
we gotta
now.
go talk to Kira.
We know all we know.
I have a way I can message her in a way. I could attach a paper to Lucas, and he can bring it to her, and she can write back. A short way.
Noctu could do that too, but can't Lucas talk? I mean, I guess he can only talk like abyssal or something.
That's a great
You
question.
can talk infernal and common.
Maybe do we?
So he could speak in common.
wanna-
But you guys want to
Okay.
avoid Kira so badly that you will
No,
send an
I don't
imp
wanna-
to speak to her in common, and
I
when
mean,
you're right down the
It's
road.
an option.
It is an option. I'm just
perfectly
asking.
happy to go see Kira myself.
Yeah.
I'm-
I might walk up and ask her.
Yeah.
The most that I
I
know.
don't-
Probably one of
you
our
know,
best
options.
Akanthi doesn't. Akanthi is trying to. Akanthi is on the hunt.
It's
She's
just
a hunter. She wants information about her prey, and she doesn't want to send an imp to do it. She wants to go, and if she has to go by herself, she will.
it's just like you know all you know is the point.
Huh?
To be fair, Conti, all I know
I'm not
about
gonna
the
hunt something that can
basilisk
turn
is
me
the
to
gaze.
stone. Knowing everything I can about it.
Okay, so Akanthi,
Alright.
is anyone joining her to the palace to speak with Kira?
No.
Well,
I'll come with her.
I will go with her reluctantly.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay,
Like,
thank you. I
I will
appreciate it.
be in the back, like, just shaking my head the whole time.
It's
Like,
just
we don't
Okay.
need to be doing this. We could be preparing and readying
Is
ourselves to take
preparing.
this. This is over and above what we need to be doing.
yeah.
Don't tell me that when you're turned to stone and everybody else is standing around going, well, he's turned to stone. I don't know what to do. Do you know what to do?
So the last
Fair.
time you were
That
at the
is fair.
palace was about 18 hours ago. And you come back into the palace and you're greeted very politely by the guards. and
I
escorted.
hope I've cleaned up a bit since then.
I assume you've had some breakfast. If anything, you've done what they call a whore's bath. Do they have that in Greek mythology?
Maybe.
Yeah. I think it's Greek.
they were big on
Everyone. Yeah.
baths.
Oh yeah, they were.
Is there a bathhouse? There's gotta be a bathhouse. I'm sorry.
So, you see before you even get to the throne room, King Pythor is kind of walking and like he's slumped with his head like hanging, and Kira's just like walking behind him with her arms crossed, just like holding this wineskin, and she's like, hey, this is, so glad I agreed to do this, but he's still pretty wobbly. I don't know if it's like built up and his blood just circulates wine now or what, but he hasn't really stopped, and I haven't let him have a lick.
What do you know about basilisks?
Oh, like the little water dogs? Let me see if Kira knows anything about. Sure. It's a lizard. Yeah. Let's see if Kira knows anything.
They're scaly. They got like 4 legs.
They like.
I think they have like 8 legs.
Yeah, they have like 8 legs.
Owners.
So Kira says, yeah, they're nasty little beasts. Why are you adopting one?
I'm gonna go hunt one tonight.
Oh.
And I just wanna, I would like some.
Well, if you see any eggs, I know their eggs are highly prized, and
that is good to know.
Yeah. Also, because
we're broke.
Yeah, they have this this ability to make people and creatures like they spit in or no, they don't spit. They use their gaze. They look at you, and you turn to stone. Something like that.
They look at you, but you can look at them.
I don't really know. I mean, I'm more into music, and I haven't written a song about basilisks.
You should.
I should. What would it sound like?
You should write a song about basilisks. I think it would be rock solid.
I like it. I like it.
Do you know what to do?
Call it like a stone.
I was thinking, who says I can't get stoned? Sitting on my throne alone.
If you get turned into a stone by a basilisk,
yes.
What should your friends do?
Help you? You guys are my friends. What would you do?
Don't know, because I don't know. Like,
that's what she's asking. Like, what should
what would you
do?
like us to do? What would you like us to do for you?
Just leave you?
To get turned into stone by a basilisk.
Well, I suppose if you are going into a basilisk fight, you'd have to kind of fight blind. You'd have to just, not look at them.
You said we could look at them, but they couldn't look at us.
Oh, no, if you make it's an eye gaze thing. If you make eye contact with a basilisk and it's close enough to see the iris, then you can turn to stone. But
look at each other.
It's kind of like a beam of light. So I suppose if you had some sort of thing that could reflect the light, you can beam it back to it. I don't know if it would turn itself to stone. That'd be cool.
It would be cool. But what if it turns you to stone? What would you like us to do for you?
I don't know. I suppose protect me?
Do you know where we can get shiny metal? Very shiny metal.
You might have to talk to Vulcan. He's the yeah, he's the main.
Heard of him.
You've heard of him.
Dale was telling me he was telling me that he heard rumors about this guy.
Yeah, I mean he's okay. What?
Yeah, he thinks he's a god. That's what the people said in tavern. They think
He's
he's
an
a god.
old
Yeah, that's
dwarf.
what he was saying. Yeah.
No,
Old dwarf.
everyone
You can
wants to
make
say
sure-
they're
Never
a
met a
god.
dwarf before.
Oh, well,
You can make
Okay.
shiny metal.
You
Yeah, you
know
can make
if there
shiny
is
metal.
a cure for getting turned to stone.
I don't know that. But
Okay, thank you.
I think if you wait long enough, if you're stoned and you wait long enough and have some munchies, then you'll be fine.
Thank you very much. Let's go talk to Vulcan, guys. You guys want to go talk to Vulcan?
Let's go.
Okay.
I feel like
So, you feel like
we should have
what?
a plan here.
Should have a
We should have a
plan.
plan.
Weren't
Like,
you gonna
what-
ask about
what
where
do
to?
we want? What wasn't I gonna ask about? What?
I was asking Akante. Didn't you want to know where the library was?
But you said there wasn't a library.
There isn't one. But Kira does say that the place with the most wisdom, perhaps, is the Dragon
It's the
Shrine,
dragon statue,
which
yeah.
you've.
Dragon Shrine. Okay.
It's actually not just a statue. It's like built into the wall, the natural rock wall just outside the palace. It is a holy shrine that attracts many visitors, both those for the five as well as paladins and the like.
Okay. Well, I am going to turn to my opinions. I'm going to say, I think that Zark is right that we need something shiny, but I'm also very concerned about what happens when somebody gets turned to stone. So,
And in that case, she did say to go visit the dragon shrine of the
Okay.
Shriners.
so
like-
they probably have priests there who know about healing. Yes.
Maybe. I have no idea. Like all I know is
I
there's a
mean-
dragon shrine.
Are you still talking to Kira? Because she's happy
We're
to
talking
talk.
amongst ourselves now.
No.
Yeah,
I
we're
know.
just talking
Get
amongst
rid of
ourselves.
this winky face.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking
We're
to
walking
Akante.
away.
Like,
We're
straight
we're
up,
walking
me and
away from
her-
Kira.
Like,
yeah.
Kira might be trying to interject herself in our conversation, and we're just like,
We're walking in the
no.
other direction.
Yeah.
We're trying to decide where we're going next.
You said something about Dragon Shrine. We got like Smith guy to go see. Like, we're good. We're good. Watch Pythor.
Yeah.
You said 10 days.
And
Just 10
as you're
days.
walking away, she says, "Remember, Versi said to drink from the horn of Balmytria. It's in the Dragon Shrine."
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay. Drink from the horn of Balmytria.
Oh shit, that was.
I drank enough last night, I think.
Oh, damn it. We probably need to go to the shrine. I need to at least go to the shrine.
We need to. Does everybody else need to drink too? Do we have to go get everybody else? Cause like we gotta go all the way back. Isn't the shrine
we're
like?
all-
pretty much-
It's not. It's like 5 blocks away. We just have ignored it.
All
I
right.
think-
Wait, the
We have to
shrine?
go
It's not
before
5 blocks
everybody
away. It's like right outside the
Oh,
palace.
the shrine's like right behind the palace.
Right.
But our
It's-
inn, our
I mean,
inn.
You gotta get like out the palace and then like down the
How is
palace.
the city?
The shrine is right here.
Like you gotta go all the way around. Oh wait, there's a back door.
That's what
It's
that.
not
That's the way you entered. Is the dots? There's no dots where you
Ow.
guys are. So
Did
you
we
all.
walk past?
You've been walking past the shrine twice
That's
now.
it, like 4 times.
Just over and over again. Oh, that's the
Alright.
dragon shrine.
Let's-
Nah, we'll
Let's
get
go
there.
ahead and hit the dragon shrine first, and if we have to go and get everybody else and bring them back, or I'll just send Noctu.
We don't
No.
understand.
I
Does anybody have paper?
paper.
Yeah.
I have not picked up any paper, but I'm sure we can find some.
Oh,
Do
God.
you need paper? What about that Araxis guy? Does he have any paper or anything that he could sell you? Like it?
Oh well, if I'm gonna go there, I might as well just go back to the inn. Never mind. Let's stop at the dragon.
Okay, but having it's so
It's
mundane.
my owl.
What's happening?
Just, I I've barely listening to conversations like 50 words per minute. Like second. It's just like,
Okay.
what exactly is your
Stop at the
question?
Dragon Shrine on the way out.
Okay.
Then we'll head back to the inn and let everybody know what we found out. Before we go
Welcome to the Dragon Shrine.
Ooh, fancy.
Yes. This shrine sits at the end of a quiet street that runs into the wall of the gorge. It's a large stone building with a copper dome. The pediment above the door bears a marble engraving of the legendary dragon Balmytria. Inside the building, there's a strong smell of incense. And you can hear the muttering of prayers as the priests of the shrine carry out their daily rituals. And a very androgynous looking elf walks up to you quietly and he says, "Hello, I am called Aesop, keeper of the Dragon Shrine. Welcome."
Hello.
Hello.
We were told you might have
Hello.
information for us.
Ah.
And we were also told we were supposed to drink some of your horn.
Well, I'm afraid that there's been a bit of a complication. You see that I've heard of the prophecy. I know who you are. And I have some bad news that the horn of Balmytria has recently been stolen from the reliquary.
The complications of...
It was 2 nights ago. And you're welcome to explore the reliquary. We keep a few relics from times gone by. Times that, for me, I remember vividly. If you do spend enough time in in Estoria, I do a little bit of a oral tradition where I share some stories from the Dragonlords, the time of the first Dragonlords, Xander, the first Dragonlord, Balmytria, and unfortunately the wine festival is being held off until Anora is hopefully saved. But I digress. Please take your time to explore the reliquary and let me know if you have any questions.
Can I just ask you quickly if you know how to, if there's a cure for getting turned to stone?
For getting turned to stone. What do you mean?
You were engaged with a basilisk and you were turned to stone. How would you resolve that situation?
Well, I suppose the short answer is magic. A spell like Greater Restoration would do.
I don't think any of us have that.
Well, if you can keep the being safe, I'm sure that type of effect from such a strong creature would fade in time. Or perhaps somebody does have that ability, may charge a fee.
Okay. You? Or do you know anybody who does?
I don't know if he does. Let's find out. Aesop, what you got?
It'll be Hollandstead.
Unfortunately, that is above my pay grade. I have a lesser restoration, which may cure perhaps being paralyzed. However, one of the other effects of being stoned, such as the inability to move in a different way, or petrified, I'm afraid that that takes greater restoration. So I would not be able to ease that ailment.
We're just gonna have to knock it turn to stone, guys. We should
I
probably, yeah, go ahead.
If you know so much about dragons, can you tell me anything more about Hexia?
Oh, Hexia. You know of Hexia, the dragon that taunts Pythor.
I know a lot about her, but not that much, and I need to find her.
Well, I'm afraid I do not study dragons like Hexia. I study the original dragons, those of the Dragonlords. Well, of course you are aware, I used to have the horn of Balmytria, Xander's oath-sworn dragon. Here, the horn of that dragon was our precious relic, our most precious relic, and it has been carried away. I would very much appreciate if it was returned to us. Now, as far as Hexia is concerned, I'm afraid Pythor may have more information for you than I.
Why don't you show us the scene of the crime, the scene of the theft, and we'll kind of like look around before we go, see if we can pick up any clues, and maybe we can help you out. I feel like it would be
Absolutely.
rude to just leave without doing that.
Yes, I think
Also,
that would
like,
be rude.
Why is this so important to you guys?
Oh, this is the Dragon Shrine. This is the most prestigious area in many days' travel to hold the relics of our past, the relics of what forged the Oath of Peace in the first place. Please, come, let me show you. And you walk into a small stone chapel off of this main chapel. There's 3 alcoves protected by glass. And the glass of the central alcove has been shattered, and there's dark purple stains that are splattered all over the floor surrounding it. But he points to the other ones as well, and he says, if you look here, there is the bedroll of Xander, the first dragonborn. And this other alcove here, and you see kind of this fancy space, is a bronze dragon scale, said to be a dragon scale from one of the very first dragons, one of the dragon riders' dragons, here in our very own Estoria. Now, regarding Balmytria's horn, it looks as if it was a sloppy job, and I would be very grateful if you could investigate and return the horn of Balmytria to me.
When did this happen?
It was 2 days ago. And
Did anything other unusual stuff happen that day besides that?
I don't think anything unusual that I can recall. It was a normal day. There are some locals that come in from time to time who venerate the dragons of old, and nothing stands out to me regarding
Anyone
So-
gone missing?
gone missing.
People.
Any of your followers?
Staff, servants.
None of my followers, although there have been rumors in town. Holy cow, you guys are rolling low.
Nope.
There have been some rumors in town of folks who have gone missing. Holy cow, are you serious? I need, is it Solano's the only one missing? Did you get a prompt? Maybe
I
not?
see it now.
Okay. Hey, Solano pulls it in. The
12
rest,
here.
all the rest of you under 10 for real. Solano gets a 21. So, Solano Deo, you notice that although there are some dark purple stains everywhere, you recognize it as some of the local wine. Perhaps you had a glass of wine at the Dragon's Tooth. And you also notice that there are many small hoof prints among the stains, and that they form a haphazard trail that leads out of the building into an adjoining alleyway.
It wasn't
This
me.
is my wheelhouse. Are they? Can I follow this trail?
You can.
I should be able to follow this trail if I don't totally suck. Of course not.
Yeah, so you get out to the alleyway, and it goes a short distance off. It starts to. It goes out of town. It goes south of town. And it starts to get harder to track, but Solano Deo, you notice, you kind of follow it out. I don't know if you all are following him, but as soon as you get out of town, you notice that it goes out a ways. Do you want to dedicate multiple hours to follow the trail? Possibly. You don't know. You just know it's out of town.
I mean,
I feel like it would. I don't want to, but I feel like it would be rude to not.
Solano, do you feel like you've got a good understanding? Akanthi,
Yeah.
do you feel like you've got a good understanding of where these people win?
Yeah. I think we
Can
just
I
brought out to town, yes.
identify these creatures and how many they were?
Sure, you can give me a nature check.
Because they might reward.
Nice.
I want to know their grandma's names.
So,
Offspring.
you
They're
know,
gonna name their great-great-grandchildren.
the hooved creatures could represent a couple of different species, both nasty creatures. One type is a maenad, and the other type is a goatling, and they are basically humanoids, or once were humanoids, that have been turned by dark forces, sometimes crossing nymphs and humanoids, or other dark types of magic or rituals that turn them into nasty, evil.
Is this my grandfather's doing?
You don't know.
Okay. Can I tell how many?
Yeah, with the 24, you know there was at least 2, and you know that based on the job, that they're not smart or stealthy. They just, it looks like they were drinking and just crashed and grabbed.
Okay. And do we know
Do you guys?
anything about how they live or what kind of settlements they have or anything in this area?
You know that just from maybe hearing some folks at the tavern, or from just talking to the folks around town, that yeah, there are sometimes creatures that come from the woods and either lure through different strategies, not always kidnapping, but there are some kind of teen daring games, or they target teens. Essentially, they target kids and teens, and sometimes kids will make bets to see how long they could stay in the old woods.
Okay, so they're in the old.
Solano, Akanthi, if you guys have a good handle on where they're going, I mean, this may or may not help us to actually,
Pursue the tracks. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we could do-
Okay. Do you wanna head back and let the people at the inn know what's going on?
I don't want to lose a trail on the tracks.
Yeah.
Over
I
time,
was
they
asking-
will
I was
dictate.
asking Zark if Solano Deo and I follow the trail.
no, I'll I'll come with you guys. I
Okay.
don't want you guys going off alone. Hey, I'm not seeing shit. I mean,
Okay.
this hoof print looks like my hoof print. Like I step next to one of them and lift my foot
It's
up.
much smaller. I point out the
Okay,
differences.
All right. Well, I mean,
See how this is cloven here, and that is, yeah, see? Way different hook.
You know, it's a hoof print, and I don't want you like trying to say that it's my hoof print, and we're going in circles for a while because it's my hoof prints.
Oh, that won't happen.
Where's Apollo?
God damn it!
I
where
thought
is
he was at
Apollo?
a stable or something. Didn't we stable him?
I haven't heard anything.
I assume he would be with us if we haven't said anything. What are some
But
things
he's
to-
back at the inn. He's sitting at the table at the inn with
Did you ask Delphian to keep track of him and to tie him up and to feed him proper food?
of course.
Okay.
That could be pay for Apollo's food.
Okay.
We are such great pet owners.
I know.
We have one donkey.
It's been one day and we already lost our donkey. We've had one donkey for one day. It's a good thing my Stimfay is mechanical.
Okay.
Before
Oh,
We're
actually,
following
I'm
them.
gonna send her Noctu up to circle around.
Okay. So
See
Noctu
if,
is checking out the.
if you spot something, let me actually go find Noctu.
I know. I was just gonna add him to my folder for the party.
So do you want a perception roll? I just did it anyway.
Okay. I'm just trying.
Oh
to...
no, he has advantage. Sorry. Oh, that didn't help. You want me to put these on private?
Nope, it's fine. So yeah, your Stimfay is checking out the scene, and I'm just gonna assume with your nature check, your Solano Deo's survival check, and with your Stimfay, that you are able to follow the tracks. There's some spilled wine that leads into the old woods, and it takes a good part. Sorry, my dog's barking. I'm just curious because it's really late. Why is he barking?
Skunk.
Maybe he got sprayed last fall and it was terrible. So yeah, it's actually, so you woke up at the Dragon's Tooth, you went to the palace, you went to the Dragon Shrine. I'm going to say it's probably early afternoon on the 7th day of Sidion. And
People at the end think
what's that?
the people at the end are wondering if we're dead.
You stayed there last night. You just left for the day. They just assume you're out checking out the Rock of Estor. And you follow the trail that Solano Deo had picked up into the woods south of the city. So, oops, this is not the right.
Yeah, this is a forest.
No, yeah, you're on the right map. I'm on the wrong. Oh, maybe that is the right. Oh, here it is. Okay. So you're in this ancient forest that lies at the center of the Heartlands. There's it's surrounded on all sides by fields and farms, but you're in the wooded part, mostly ancient oak and walnut trees. And the forest grows dark around you. With barely any light making its way through the canopy, you hear birds and beasts clamoring beyond every bush, and eventually, the path you are following seems to disappear into the underbrush. You emerge into a clearing surrounded on all sides by oak trees. The forest suddenly grows quiet. You can hear something crashing through the brush ahead of you, and I would assume that Noctu,
Nocturnal.
Thank you. I need a memory tool. Noctu sees this and maybe flies down and relays this to you. Did you bring in your imp too?
I did. He's beside me, giving me comfort.
I'm good. I'm glad that you have. I didn't know if you had permission to bring actors out onto the scene, so that's good to know. I'm gonna make like a macro for your Noctu, so when you bring them out, it'll just like fly in this like arc. I think that'd be cool. So you are told by Noctu ahead of time, swoops down and tells you that there is a young girl running through the forest, and there are goatling creatures running after her.
My companions know what Noctu told me.
Okay. You
And
tell them as you
I-
approach the clearing.
Get my bow ready.
Yeah, can we get sight on this? Like, before they recognize that we're there?
Not
In
quite
fact,
yet.
I think I'm gonna.
Not where
they're
you
coming
are.
This,
Are
they coming from
Yep. You nailed
over
it.
here?
Nailed it.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually duck behind these trees.
Okay.
My bow.
Get some tree cover.
And see if I can just like sneakily shoot them, whatever, if I need to. Assess the situation first,
Sure.
and then possibly sneakily shoot them.
Okay.
Yeah, does the lady look like she's in trouble?
So you don't
There's a
see her yet.
girl-
You don't see her yet. But just from what your stim phase, there's a girl running from goatling creatures. That's all you know. So, Akantha, you can roll stealth. Saren's definitely hiding.
Can I use my channel divinity prophetic trance before we?
How did they get here?
So, here's
That's blind, so I don't even know, but that's fine.
perfect. Even better.
I have no idea if they can see me or not.
Wow. Oh, was that with supposed to be like advantage or something? Oh no, that's your. Holy crap!
Trance 272.
I was gonna say you used that twice, and each time I don't think you've rolled less than 17.
What is that for?
That's his prophetic vision. So here's the thing, guys. I'll describe the situation so you can think about it for the week, but we are going to end soon because we don't have time for combat. So here's the situation.
Okay.
A young girl bursts into the clearing, breathing hard. Tears streak her dirt-caked face. She spots Zark, who is... Can she see that far? Yeah, she could see that far. So she spots Zark across the way, and she kind of looks at you as she's running. She blinks her eyes, and she says, Are you really here? And then her face gets serious, and she says, Please, help! You hear more crashing sounds from the forest as 6 hideous creatures emerge into the clearing. They are nasty. They are 6 goat-headed creatures with cloven hoods. One of them laughs harshly. Okay, that's the situation.
Their feet are totally different from yours. See?
Dax,
Jeff, did you have somebody like draw a portrait of you, or?
That's good. You know what's even funnier?
happy.
Because I'm horny.
Unleash the goats.
Oh my goodness.